What's going on, YouTube family? So today we are going to talk about the KP3S Pro and how it's comparing to the regular King Rune KP3S. So let's start over here with this one. And we have a 180 millimeter build plate, 175-ish. I think it's more realistic. Sits on linear rails on the X and Y. You have a Z-rod in the back, non-coupled. They do have an upgrade to where you can couple it, or whatever that's called. And the filament mounts above the printer, really nice. If you're wondering about this, I'm just kind of experimenting. I put a little piece of foam underneath it to see if that would help with vibrations or not. I don't really know right now. I just needed somewhere to put the foam, and I put it underneath the printer. So I think it'll help. I think it might not. It doesn't matter to me too much. What else? Dang it, that thing layer skipped. Why is it layer skipping? I need to figure that out. That might be an acceptable part, but maybe not. Okay, but yeah, so first off, the form factor, it is quite small. It's really ideal. One of the big downsides is the power supply is not built into the printer. That does make the printer overall smaller, but you have a power supply on the back side. Some people have complained about Z-banding over time, so I believe on the KP3S Pro, that's what they were addressing, is some of that Z-banding. The extruders are otherwise identical. The linear rails are identical. They do change from a linear rail Y to a rubber wheels Y. So that's, I probably would have preferred the linear rail, but I think I understand and I'm okay with what they did anyways. I don't see any degradation as far as print quality goes. If anything, I see an upgrade. So, looking at that, the biggest upgrades is they add a filament runout sensor, which is useful. In my opinion, the filament runout sensor should be up top here. That way you could run filament above it. Where I currently have this set up, it works out that I can have the filament down here and it just pull it. To me, it's not as ideal, and I would prefer to have the filament above it. But they did add a nice linear rail to the Z with a nice metal Z-screw there. So I think the Z-banding will be fixed and better on this one, and also the power supply being integrated into the base, I think is a great idea and worth it. Now, right out of the bat, I'm using the same KP3S profile. I just swapped to a 0.6 nozzle, and that's literally the only difference that I'm doing. And I find that it prints cleaner and better than the KP3S. So as far as print quality goes, I think it's got it beat by just a little bit as far as the KP3S Pro does. I'm not exactly sure, but if I remember right, I think this has different steppers. So those new steppers and the new firmware might be a part of what make it better. I was just kind of reading some of this. This is okay. I think they could have done a little bit better on the design here. Maybe not just a screw, but an actual adjustment knob like they kind of did here. But I'm not complaining about that too much. Yeah, I mean, overall, to me, the fact that the power supply is built in and that it's bigger, if everything else is the same, I dig it for that. I mean, that 1 extra inch is actually useful to me, and I do use it quite often. I mean, we can see it's a larger build plate. I am able to fit 4 of these on here, and I wouldn't be able to fit 6 or more on this one. So in this case, it doesn't matter. But this final piece here wouldn't fit on the KP3S, but it fits on this one. So to me, the extra little bit is worth it, and I don't think it's going to be taking up any more space than what they are here. But the filament location is a little silly. That could be modded. On these KP3S, on the King Runes and period, I like to run them in their stock form because that's how I'm going to sell them to people. So I don't want to market here's my heavily modified printer and the 5 things you need to do in order to make it useful after you buy it. I want, when you buy this thing, from me out of the box, that it works good. So anyways, guys, that's my opinion real quick, and I will get back to you on another video here shortly. So yeah, I would take for $50, take the upgrade.